I am getting ready to repair my refrigerator. The door handle has come off, and I know there's people that have door handles come loose and stuff like that on their appliances and things like that. Refrigerators that got the handles. You know, a lot of people know what to do. They're going, what the heck? What's happening? What's going on? Oh yeah, today is 1/29/25. Please subscribe. Be humble and kind. Doesn't cost you a dime. And you'll be fine when you subscribe. Really. Nobody ever know you subscribe but you. I won't know your name. I won't know nothing. So it's not like I can contact anybody who subscribes. I won't. Unless you leave an email address in my comments. Yeah, I'll never know who subscribed. So I'm going to bring you down to the floor level where I'm at. So you get down. I get a flashlight. So I got a flashlight here, and I look down underneath there and I see what kind of system that they're using, because it's generally always going to be from the underneath side, right? So the part that you're going to need to focus on is underneath. So you're going to take a flashlight, you're going to look underneath there and you go, is that a Phillips? Is that some sort of alien nut? What is underneath there? I don't know. So you kind of take a peek down there and you say, oh, it's a hex of some sort. So you grab your little toolbox of, I got a bigger one with all kinds of other weird tools. I don't know why they use so many weird screws, different kinds of shapes of screws, and I don't know. Seems kind of like nobody seems to really have to have an average size of anything. So I'll take this little bit, see if that's going to fit. And look underneath there. Nope, that's too big. Too big, too big, too big. Kind of in the dark here a little bit. So I'm looking for something a little smaller. A little bit. Just a little bit smaller. Oh yeah. Just a little bit. I don't know if that's a star. I already can't see if it's a star or not. And so you just kind of, oh, there it is. I found it. So this is, you know, Hex. Hex marks the spot. So just put it in your bit without a spit, and you just kind of see if you can get enough room to get under there. So you can see the handle. The handle was like hanging down, and so you just get it lined back up. And you know, I would recommend that you put it on the light. You don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to strip your threads, so adjust it so you can hold on to it, so you don't strip it, and then get it lined up. This is a brushless screwdriver, so kind of acts like a hammer, and so you can see how nice and taut. So while I'm here, I'm going to check all my other doors, or handles, and make sure that nothing else is coming loose. So I don't. It's like you fix one, and then before you know it, another one goes. And so what I like to do is when I'm going to be down there, I might as well just go ahead and make sure all the other ones are secure. And I hit all birds with one stone. You ever hit a bunch of birds with one stone? Metaphorically. Right? So, and that is how simple it is to fix your door. If you don't see anything on top, somewhere, or on the side, like, you know, on the side where there's sometimes they'll put like a screw on the side, but typically not, because that's visible, and that takes away from the aesthetics of the appliance. So they try to put them underneath so that they're not visible, the holes and the screws. And you know, you got one here and over the other side, and same thing. I think, oh, these are on the inside. So on my handles here, these tall handles here, so they got the screws right there, right? See the screws right there, and so that one goes up there. There's nothing in the middle, looks like. So there you got a screw there. And so anytime your handles come loose on your fridge, just grab a. I'd recommend grabbing a flashlight. That way you can better isolate and just explore the whole handle, kind of look at it and go over the handle and get familiar with it, make it your friend, whatever. And so simple as that. I was a major appliance tech for 30 years. I owned my own business. I know a few things. In fact, I got an associate's degree in major appliance technology repair. And I started my own business before I even finished college. And yeah, took care of my family with that. And so, yeah, if you like have a, like, so what I took was major appliance tech concept. And so, you think about a washer, what does a washer do? It washes. Well, what are the other aspects that it does? Well, got water coming in, got water going out. Tub spins, right? Tub agitates. So what do you got there? You got something that pumps the water, right? You got a drive system of some sort. I've got a LG front loader. It uses a static motor. I just rebuilt the whole thing, took it all the way down to the very, like it was still on the factory line, and it's all in pieces. they haven't assembled it yet at the factory. That's how far I took it down. Just pretty much dismantled it because I had to replace the spider flange. It's the tub's attached to it. It's and then it has a shaft coming out, and it goes into a bearing, and the stator motor's attached to that, and so I had to dismantle the whole machine down to her. And some other things I had to repair because of the bearings went bad, and anyway, it was like 10 years old. Now it works like brand new. It made noise probably. Gradually got worse over about, I don't know, 6 years. Just kept getting louder and louder. And finally, it's like, I think something's going to fly out of that thing. I think it's going to take off. So pieces are just going to start going every direction. I says, I think it's time for me to get in there. I held off for a while because I had major back surgery and really didn't have it in me. But so I rebuilt it, I don't know, about a year ago or something, whatever it was. And works like a champ. And so, you know, when your washer doesn't drain, check your drain line first. Make sure there's no kink in it. Make sure that you don't have no backup pressure from the street. Because if you have a sealed pipe going into your drain and it's pressure tight, and you have some sort of backup pressure come from the street or a plug drain and you're on the drain line coming from that your drain hose is going into, it won't drain. And that's the easiest thing to check. And the other thing, if you have one of those has a filter, you know, you can, like mine has a little door in the front, left hand side, and I open up the door and there's a little hose and I make sure there's no water. Now those just get plugged. Be careful here. Those little hoses get plugged frequently. And so when you go to take the filter screen, to check the filter screen on the pump, you go to put that out. Well, pull that out, it's, you know, there goes the water. So I recommend you have some towels or something like that handy, or something you can, maybe the towels and something you can catch the water in case that little hose is drained. Because if you pull that little plug out of that little hose and no water comes out, well, that might mean it's plugged. So when you pull that screen out of your water pump, yeah, you can get some water. So you will take that, screw that out of the water pump. There's on the LGs, and a lot of them actually do that. Kenmores have that style now, and front loaders. I think most of them have that. So what you'll do is take that screen out, screw it out, and clean it out, and look inside there and make sure there's nothing. Sometimes coins, I don't know how they get past that screen, but I've seen them get past it. And they get in there and damage the blade. And you could have a stripped blade on your pump. You know, even though it sounds like it's running, those shafts can actually get stripped, and it'll sound like the pump's running, but it's really just kind of flopping around in there. And I've seen that too over the many years. And so, so if it's not draining, you can eliminate those things. And if you put it in drain, you hear the pump motor running, and you've eliminated all those other things, and you hear the pump motor running, replace the pump. It's probably a strip shaft, right? So I think those, on the average, I think they're like $60-$70 for the pumps on those front loaders on average. And so that's the lesson today. Well, I'll start out with a refrigerator, right, and then I went right to a washer. I'll be giving some other instructions on and information on other major appliances. Took theory. If you think about what appliances do, I mean, what does a dryer do? It dries, it tumbles it. So it's not really complicated. Right? But my most complicated part for me as a major tech was actually trying to figure out how to get into these new designs. Repairing them was like, diagnosing them wasn't my problem. It's like they would change the setup on how to get into them. Right? They kept changing them. I'm going like, oh my gosh, got a good idea what's wrong with this thing, but I can't. It's like, where's the screws? How do they disassemble this thing? How do they disassemble? How do they put it together? It's so different than what I've seen before that I have to. And that time there was no good way of researching that particular model, like, so I'd have to. There was one time I think it took me, oh my gosh, 2 hours to figure out how to get into, I think it was a dryer or a washer. They redesigned it really well. So I stayed there. That's how I learned those. So when they would come out with these new external designs, and they would come apart totally different than anything I've ever seen. I would learn on the job. Okay, how does this come apart? Oh my gosh, here's another one. And I would dismantle, find a way how to dismantle that. Sometimes I dismantle it a little too much. I'm going, oh, I think you need to replace your washer. No, I mean, it almost got to that point, it seemed, at times. Anyway, so that's how you do your doors on your refrigerator, your handles, I mean. And so if you have any comments, you got any appliance problems, call a major tech appliance guy. That would be me. Subscribe. Doesn't cost you a penny. And leave a comment if you want. And thumbs up. And if you got a problem with your appliance, drop me a line. And but I think you have to subscribe. I'm not sure how that works. I think you have to subscribe, ordinarily drop a line. But you can investigate that yourself. I don't know. So there you go. Appliance problem? Give me a call. Did it for 30-some years. I have an idea. But we can eliminate the simple things first, and and if it goes technical, then we would need to be talking about an ohm meter, multimeter, or something to go deeper into the twilight zone of a major appliance repair. Anyway, you have a nice day. Please subscribe, be humble and kind, and you enjoy the rest of whatever time of it is of the day. Bye now.